So welcome to Ascension Soul Coach and Jazmine. Jazmine's my daughter. Hi. And she has a YouTube channel called Let's Jazz It Up. Jazmine, tell them a little bit about your business, your website.
I run a YouTube channel called Let's Jazz It Up too, where I show people different avenues on how to make money. Whether you want to sell a product, I sell planners. Whether you want to be a signing agent, I teach people how to do that. Or now I'm going to be starting a tiny house business, and I am here to see if that tiny house business is going to be successful. When you invest a lot of money in something, you want to see if you're going to get a good return on it. This was a lot of money. So instead of putting it up on Airbnb, where you just drive to where my tiny house is, I'm going to be renting it on RV Share. And if you don't know what that is, it's people who put an RV up for rent, and people can take it and drive it to different campgrounds within the United States, Canada, or South America. I want to see if that portion of my business will be successful, or will I have to permanently put it on land in the future. I think mainly I want, because I have to start out with the RV Share, I would love for that to be successful instead of me having to wait to get the land in Tennessee that I want.
Right. And so how many RVs or tiny homes do you want to have?
I think 2 to 3 would be fine. I'd be happy with that. I would be happy with 1 if it did pretty well, because I really want to go to Tennessee.
And what's the profit on that, on 1?
I would like to have $2,000 a month. You do the math, Mom. I don't know how much it is.
$24,000 a year.
Yeah,
$75 for 3.
I would be happy with that.
Have you thought about? Let me ask you a question. I know I'm putting words out there, but have you thought about, like, there's people who go out and who start their own tiny home resorts. Mm-hmm. They may have like 5 or 6, and it's like a little area, like maybe an acre land. Have you thought about that? Yes.
So I've talked to my builders, and we definitely want a house or land out in Tennessee. They are in Tennessee. That's where my tiny house is being built, but it's going to come here. We have already discussed, if this goes well, if we get the land, which we will, speaking it into existence, that I would like to transition to A-frame tiny homes for camping in Tennessee on a plot of land. So maybe 5 of them would be good.
So how similar are you and I as far as business? Where'd you get this from?
Probably you. Until everybody always asks me, how'd you become a signing agent? I'm like, my mom forced me. She said, you kind of force it in a way where you're like, it's a good backup plan. You're going to come with me anyway. Come do it. And I'm like, okay, whatever.
Well, they're trying to get your brothers to do it. They will not.
I always tell people the women in my family are the entrepreneurs. The men are just traditional. The women, Aunt Eileen, Aunt Brenda, you, me, the women who are in close quarters together, we're the entrepreneurs. We always go out and risk things, and we always succeed.
Yeah, but you hustle more than I. So let me tell you a little bit about Jazmine. That's her business, which is a great thing that she's doing. And I've seen the growth. So when you started looking for your tiny home, and then you got your builder, and then you've gone out and seen it in progress. So I've seen all that on your YouTube channel. Although we did not know each other were buying little tiny homes until we bought little tiny homes.
Oh yeah,
I'm like, what do you mean you bought a little tiny home? I'm like, no, you didn't. She said, yes. And we just put our contract on ours and got our land. Mm-hmm. And then we started talking more about what she wanted. It was like she wanted an A-frame house. I'm like, no, I've been looking at A-frame homes. Yeah, it's very, very uncanny, huh?
We're the same. You're like the calmer version of me. I'm more of a mom goes for 50%, I go for the whole 150%.
Yes, she does. I gotta give you that. I can't do with so many things. You're all over the place. So I got a job and responsibility. You just an entrepreneur, and you're all over the place, but you're making money. That's good and successful. So that's a good thing.
Different routes. We wanted the same things, but we took different routes.
We both got college degrees in totally different things.
Didn't want it.
And you're making it work. Yep, I made her get it, but you got to.
She forces me to do everything because she thinks it's going to be good in the future.
And it does help you out. So, although I didn't know what fashion design was going to take you, however, you're designing a whole lot of things. Well, you're designing your organizers. You have any of those available that you can pop up so we can see?
My planners?
Yeah, your planners.
Oh man, I would have to go over there to go get it.
Go get it.
You could also find it on my website. Okay, so keep in mind, these are just two of the covers out of 7 that I had. So this was the first installment of the planner that I designed. Front cover, everything in it I designed. It's like a bullet journal, as well as planning your business. So it has your debts page, how much income you want to make from all your side hustles, and your monthly goals, weekly plans, and your expense pages. So that's the bulletin journal. This is the first one I did. So it's not like a lot of writing. It's just like name 3
things. Close so we can see the name of it. That one's the Hustle Planner.
Yeah. This is the bullet journal plus planner. I'm more of a writer. I wanted to go to school for journalism. I'm really big on writing. So I was like, that planner is true to me, but not 100%. So this is the second installment. The weekly hustle planner. So this one is a true journal. So it has your journal entries on the front, and it actually is a guided journal. It asks you questions, you write down your responses. Yeah. Your weeklies are bigger, and it has a weekly budget. Right. And at the end, it has your daily affirmations for each month. So you write those down, or is it already in there? You write them down. So they begin with I am, I will, I do, I have. You have to finish each of those sentences for each month. Okay, cool. It has your monthly, anything like your expenses and income checks, because we're all side hustlers. And then your reflections, goals and reflections. That's cool. Yeah. So that's your goal. And you do pop-ups. And I do pop-ups to sell them, as well as sell them online. So explain to them what pop-ups are. So pop-up shops are, we all know that the retail industry, physical retail industry is kind of going down the drain. Like malls are not as popular anymore. But since some people still like to go to malls, people like to walk around, your favorite stores are not there anymore. I mean, you probably will not find a bookstore in a mall that often. Right. So I participate in pop-up shops for small businesses who come and offer that community 1 or 2 days of shopping of things that they would never find in an actual store. So my pop-up is just simply planners. I am going to add maybe some jewelry into it as well, because I love jewelry. But mine's planners. I might be next to someone who makes jewelry. I might be next to someone who makes candles. And that's what makes it truly unique. And it only happens for once a month or never again in that same area. Right. You make a lot of money. I made $1,000 in 2 days one time. That's pretty good. So people contact me because of different reasons. They need help with the family life, relationship, career, finances. They just want to talk. They're depressed. And so I'm a life coach. I'm a certified life coach, and I have my master's in human relations and business. And I've done counseling for a while. And I've had disability for a long time, well, most of my life. I think since I was 9, I knew, right? So yep. So anyway, you called me, and you've talked to me a couple times. I've given you free readings before, and I told you about 3 months ago. I think your stepdaughter's online, about where your path was headed. And I said you were guided. You were creating your own path. I showed you the cards. So you were in charge of that path that you were creating, and you were walking it alone. You were leading your money behind you. There was a calf, which means money, signifies money in the tarot world. So you were leading that money behind you. You weren't running for it. You were leading it. So, all right. But that's before I found out about all the tiny homes and all the stuff you were doing. I mean, you knew you were a go-getter. You were teaching. She also teaches children, Asian children, English online. Yeah, which I couldn't do that because she gets up at what, 4 in the morning? 3 in the morning? 3 in the morning to do that. I said I wanted to do it because I love children, but I don't love anybody that much. I gotta get up at 3 in the morning unless I'm going on vacation for 2 weeks. So we don't do that. I teach you another way. So let me say, so what is it? What's the question? You want to concentrate on the question that you want to answer today? It has this specific question, right? Yeah. Will my tiny house business be lucrative? In any facet. You have a lot of things. In every facet. There's only 2 facets for it though. Well, you wanted is it going to be, well, at first you were saying you wanted to know if it was going to be better on land, just stationary, or traveling. And then eventually you wanted to expand it to have maybe your own little tiny home. Yeah, I feel in my heart, I feel it, that it will be successful on land. But I guess my specific question is, before I get to that, I have a pathway to get through with it traveling. So will my tiny house be successful as a traveling rental?
Got it. So I'm gonna start now. I'm gonna use the Dreamkeepers. Oops, the Dreamkeepers Tarot. I always show people what I'm using. Can you see that? These are beautiful cards. These are new. I've read with them on my own. This is when you get cards, you need to see how they work. So I'm gonna answer that. So I'm gonna pull out 3 cards. So you got what I'm gonna read for is your past, your present, and then the future, where you are with your tiny homes. And we're only gonna concentrate on the stationary versus, well, really traveling. You wanna know if it's gonna be a good traveling investment where you could do a travel rental. Car rental.
Should I uncross my legs and my arms?
You don't have to do anything. You asked a question.
Let it come through.
No, you don't have to do any of that. And then it takes a while sometimes.
How much do you charge for your tarot readings?
There's $35 for 30 minutes. And it depends on what I do. It's $45 for 50 minutes. And then I think it's $60, $75 for 60 minutes. Just the higher I go, I don't just give you more minutes. There's some I'd send homework to, and give them, and actually type up an email for them, telling them what they need to think, copies, give them pictures of the reading. I give them assignments, things they could read, suggestions for reading and stuff like that.
That's cool.
Yeah, so it takes a little bit more time than just reading, because you can actually get a reading very quick. Where it went. So now I got my glasses on so I can read it. So I'm going to show you the cards. Ooh. So you got Page of Swords, that's reverse. Let's see this.
Reverse always sounds scary.
6 of Swords. And you got Temperance reversed. This is it right side up. And this is it. This is how it came out. That's the future. Okay, so the beginning. So we're saying, where are you right now? Page of Swords. Well, you're not a novice. Page of Swords is someone who has a strategy, who's new to things, he's still learning. This person's out on the water. You can see this right here. She's got a sword in her hand, skirt hiked up, but she's on the island by her little self, right? But pages are new, they're immature, they're starting out. Is this saying that you're growing? You've had some lessons. There's some things, there's some lessons in your strategy that you've had to learn, right? Have you learned them? Because you've done a lot of things in a short period of time. Like I said, in the past 4 years, you've done a lot. You switched around a lot of things. You got a lot of things rolling. You're trying to grow your business. You're new at this thing. So this is telling me that pretty much there's reflection that you're still looking at yourself. You're still, oh, she's listening. Are you listening? Well, we had this conversation a while back about you listening to people. Are you listening to advice?
2 people keep telling me, one of the builders and fiance is telling me that it might be, it's a liability to have your tiny house on the road too often because they're not built like RVs. So they're like, we love the idea, but we don't know if we want you to do it for a long time because you want to preserve your tiny home.
And you notice this girl, I don't know if you see this, she's out in the wilderness. See the tree? I don't know if you can see that very well. There's trees. She's in the wilderness, like in a forest, and she's standing on this log or whatever, this little brick. I don't know if it's brick, it's kind of dark, you can't really see it. She's standing on a rock or a tree stump. It's in the middle of the water, right? But she's like upside down, and and so people are trying to tell herself, and she's like, I'm alone in this woods. So you want to put it in the campground, right? In the forest. Is that what you said? You want to put
for the Airbnb
tiny house?
But people will take it to the campsites in the forest. Yeah,
right. And so this person is someone who's listening. This is someone who think they're making their mind up based on the experience that they're gaining. But you're not moving forward on it yet. I mean, I know you're getting your tiny home, but you're kind of stuck in this position right now, listening and soaking everything in. And that's why you're coming to me, I guess.
And it's not ready. It's not here.
Not ready in here, right? And then you got the Six of Swords. Six of Swords is moving forward. Remember, she's in the water, stuck in the middle of the island by herself, right? With her sword. This one is taking a strategy. Now, presently, you are ready to move forward. Cross that bridge. You're ready to take the next step. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Don't say, is it true?
I'm ready to go.
Take that voyage. You're ready to move. So remember, this is about a moving RV. So this is about movement from one place to another. Okay. Now, this girl is flying. She's a queen. She's got the little princess. I don't know if she's a queen or a princess, but she's flying. She's got people on her back. She's soaring. And it's, again, over water in a campground. Look at that background. It's all trees. You see that? The trees in the water?
Mm-hmm.
Soaring. So presently, you're ready to move. You see it working. It can work. There's the opportunity there if you just dive into it and know. You got to have, see, the sword's about knowing your path, knowing your strategy, communicating and executing your strategy, right? So I think you're very hard-headed, though.
Yes, I want what I want.
You want what you want. That's why she ain't listening no more. You've taken in advice, and now you're saying, you know what? I've taken in your advice, and now I'm ready to do what I want to do.
I'm going to still try.
Well, there's no wrong with trying, right? I was looking for something. Okay, so that's that. So you're finished listening to other people. You're ready to do your own thing. I wanted to see something really quick. Yeah, exactly. And then the last one is temperance. Temperance is reverse. This is it, right side up. Temperance is about the balance of good and bad. You have to be balanced. You have to be, not neutral. You just got to weigh both options, kind of sort of thing. Not be too hot-headed, not be too lazy. You have to be just the right balance. So really and truly, the approach you want to take has to be balanced. Now, this is not just with the tiny home movement. It says if you want to do it, it will work, right? You're ready to go. You're ready to fly. You're ready to soar. You've got your strategy and your plan and you want to do it. But then it's also saying have a more balanced approach because you're not in balance. Something like here, you're saying you don't want to listen to everybody. People, you have to listen to what they're saying. There is some truth in what they're saying, right? You don't want to burn yourself out. First, you're just starting out, right? You're new at this. It says a page of swords. You're new at this. So you have to just take it step by step. There are things that you need to be aware of. There's pieces of the puzzle you don't even know about that you're going to come up against. So you have to be balanced or you're not going to be able to put this all together. It's not all going to come together cohesively the way you want. It's going to take time. You got to understand that. You can't just jump in. You do need to listen to what people are saying, but instead of just saying, I'm not going to listen to you, you can say, I'm gonna still do it and I'm gonna take care of those things you're talking about. Let's say, well, you need to have more insurance. Okay, well, then maybe you need to just go take care of that. Okay, check. I'll just get more insurance, or I'll talk to an insurance agent about what's the best way to do this, or what are other people doing who are doing the traveling trailers who are successful. Not that they just have one and they're doing it, but how successful, what problems are you coming up with? What are people doing to your trailers? Am I gonna be covered if this person does this with my trailer? Right? So, or if this happens to my trailer, while they're traveling with it, what happens if they don't have insurance? You got to check all this stuff as well. So they got to make sure they have insurance when they're driving, because they're driving their own vehicle. Are they driving their own vehicle, you said?
Yeah.
They pull it. Okay. Yeah. But there's a lot of, when call U-Haul, call the rental car places and see what people will talk to you and high up if you call and answer. I'm doing a school project and and I want to know more about rental cars, like U-Haul or National Rental or something like that, because they have certain things they have to consider, especially if the truck people, not just for recreational. People use those trucks to go, haul their furniture back and forth. I mean, there's just things you just need to be more aware of and not just say, oh, it could work. It's a great idea. I can make money. But the problem is, yes, you can make money, but you can also have a lot of problems because people, one thing I've heard about renting your RVs out or even your home, your B&Bs is that some people, they don't take care of your stuff. They break your stuff.
Yeah.
What happens if somebody run into somebody, kill somebody? I mean, things happen. So Girl, this reminds me of you and how you dress. But anyway, you see her dress? You see right through it. At one time, she was like that. Anyway, so it's about building your dreams and putting all the pieces together and making sure you're filling the gaps and not just blow off people who are giving you advice. Don't make what they're saying a no. Make what they're saying is, okay, well, I need to take care of that gap. So they're saying, what was the other thing? Is like, it was insurance. What else was that Mike brought up?
He brought up insurance and weight and
the weight. What do you mean weight?
Where we're gonna put it? Where you're gonna
weight like WAIT?
Is that you're trusting weight, like your WEI. You are trusting people to take it, and it could flip over. It could be seriously damaged, and then you're out of a tiny home. He was like, even if you have insurance, you're still out of a tiny home. So he wants me to. He doesn't want me to do the RV share anymore. He wants me to put it on land, but I don't want to wait a huge gap between it being done and us getting our land, because we might not. I want land this by the end of the year, but the way the housing market is, we might not get it till next year, and I don't want to wait. I don't.
Oh, okay. Wait. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'll have insurance. The website gives insurance, and I would have an extra piece of insurance. So all the pieces, I need to make sure that the business will run legally and smoothly.
And how much does it cost for the extra insurance? Is that something you can afford? I know you can. The cost absorbed by the customer. Well, yeah, it should be. Yeah, absorbed by the customer. So okay. So we know that you're not listening. You kind of like cut everybody off.
Because they're telling me what I already know, but the thing is that they don't want me to do the RV share because they don't want the vehicle on the road too much. But I'm like, well, we need to make money while we wait.
So have you determined have you broken up the cost of what you're going to charge people to do that you can make a profit? And then how many times a year do they have to do it, or a month, whatever you need to rent it to be safe, to make the money that you need? Mm-hmm. Have you figured that out? Your budget?
Not the whole month, but if I want to make $2,000, it would have to be the whole month. So $100 times 30 days is $3,000. So if 20 days out of the month would be.
What are most people renting their RVs out for now? How many days?
About the ones that are
travel,
not drivable, but like they tug it behind them. It's between 81 for a very, very, very small one, up to 108, 120 for a nicely modeled medium-sized trailer. Mine is high end. So
can you limit the mileage or how far they can go out?
I wouldn't, but yeah, I could. I can deny someone renting it if I wanted to.
Okay. And it's no issue with you with mileage because except for tires.
Yeah.
Tires. But you understand also remember with your RV, there's a lot of motion and movement. So that does go into your wear and tear of your equipment and
that's what they're saying.
Yes. So your structure. So you do need to maybe there's a way you can look at it that could balance it. Like there's nothing wrong with taking it locally and like shifting it around from place.
Ideally, I would only want it on RV share for 5 months.
Okay.
That's when I want the land to be secure in Tennessee.
So and then after you go RV travel, you'll just do most
Airbnb.
It'll be stationary.
Yeah. But if it makes a lot of money being on RV share, I will definitely get another tiny house to have it on RV share exclusively.
Just the pros and cons, fill in the gaps. Let him know. Did you tell him you only wanted 5 months?
He knows I want it to be stationary eventually.
But you never told him.
He doesn't want it at all.
You never said 5 months.
Well, I told him I want the house by November on my birthday. So that's less than 5 months, right? That's 9 months. So that's like what, 6-7 months? Yeah.
So why don't you tell him that? See, I think here also.
I did.
You didn't say the number of months. You didn't really like give him.
I said my birthday. I want us to have that.
Have you written your plan out for this? Is what I'm saying. Okay. Because I don't think he's filled in on everything. He's feeling there's a lot of gaps in your plan.
Yes, he
He
does.
feels a lot of holes, he's a lot of insecurities and a lot of liabilities there. And he's like,
because I don't talk about my business plans that much, because a lot of people don't have faith in you. They don't see your vision, and then they start poking holes where there are no holes. So
well, this card said there's holes. It says, there's holes.
Because it's not fully done yet, because it's still being built. I can't get the title until they're done building it. The holes, because there's a process.
No, I get that, but he doesn't feel the holes are being filled. He just feels there's gaps. So sometimes he's got to reassure, he's your partner still, so he's your fiance. So you still got to feel in some, because he don't want to see you get into a situation where you get hurt.
A lot of money.
Yeah, or you lose a lot of money, or you're liable for something and you never take that into consideration. He doesn't want to see that, because I'm sure y'all trying to build. He's going to be your partner, so right?
Mm-hmm.
In this. So he just wants to feel comfortable that this is going to work. Every job, every business has risk, right? That, and you wouldn't go into it. That's why you make money, because you're going taking a lot of risk. But he needs to feel more reassured. See, there's a guy and a girl. The girl is more filled out. That's you. That means you got more to plan. And he says, I ain't got much of nothing. I mean, I don't get it. I don't feel it. I don't have what I need to be reassured to be a support to you right now. But if you feel these gaps he's feeling, and feel him in more with what you're doing with this particular one, because it is a high value risk you're taking, I think you'll feel more comfortable with it. But you just got to say, okay, what are you more concerned about? Let him tell you what those concerns are. And then you go out and get the information you need to be able to fill the holes, and then see if filling that holes is something you can afford, the risk to take.
I want to make it very clear up here that he is not invested in this business. This is not his money. We are not signed on as business partners for this business. So I want to make that clear to other people. Well, like, why wouldn't she tell him this and that? And like, because it's mine. I paid for it. It's my business. I came up with it. He is not filled in, because no partner would be filled in 100% on someone's business. They hear the idea, they see us put it together. So they're having questions because they're not at the negotiation table. So I want to make that.
But he also knows there's some inherent risk there, and he's looking out for you.
Yes.
And overall for both of you, because if your credit get messed up, just saying, and y'all try to get something later, y'all can't get it because you messed your credit up.
So it wouldn't be credit. It wouldn't be credit. It's all paid for cash. Everything has been.
Well, liability. If you have a liability claim, it's beyond your deductible, whatever. Yeah, it's an issue.
It should be at least a $2 million plus insurance that I have.
Yeah, well, you talk to your insurance agent about that, but I'm just trying to say he's looking at it long term. Like this could hurt. It could be a great thing. It could be a bad thing. So let's just look at the risk. And I think if you're marrying him, he should know the risk, even though he's involved with it or not, because you know your partners are always going to want to. He's not the type of person to stand back. He may say, "Go do it, and I'll support you. And if you need help here and there, I'll help you." But he still wants to make sure you're going to be covered and okay. Right, because then you plan on going even further with it. So that's just more of your time and your expenses and your investment into that particular project. So he has the right, if he's going to marry you.
Risky investment.
Yeah, and every time you go down there, he goes with you, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So it's good. He cares. He just wants me to feel in more about, do you have these gaps? Show me that you cover these gaps. And, and I think that's what he should do. Sometimes we want something we really want, but we don't look at all the pitfalls. And if you're never going to see every pitfall, but there's a lot more there that you're not paying attention to could be a problem. So it says, take care of the biggest ones. Every business has its risks. Nothing's going to be perfect, right? But there's some inherent big risks, big potholes in front of you that needs to be filled with information or insurance or a tighter plan, which is, okay, you know what? I'm going to do this for 6 months and that's it. I don't care how good the money is. We want it to be stationary, and eventually we want to grow our little park. So that's the way you got to go. You got to plot it out. So he could see the growth of this business plan that you have, and then because everything's going to be incremental anyway. So that's what I see. If you're not listening, you cut people out because you don't want to hear what they're saying. You want to move forward with this project. You've got your plan in your head and you're ready to go, and you're ready to take him. Look, this is him, and there's a woman, but it's headless. Whether he's ready to go with you or not, you going. And he's saying, I get you, but you gotta be balanced, and that's fill these holes in. I'm not filled in, included in everything you're doing, Jazmine. You got more of a plan here than I do. This is him here. You see the hands? This is a person. He's not filled in. He doesn't feel like he knows he's clued in. He doesn't feel like you've got all the pieces sewn together. Just show me what you're going to do, how you're going to do it, and I'll be better. He'll feel better about it. He'll feel better about it. And you filling those potholes in, you should feel better about it. And then I know what you're going to do. You're going to take your little business plan and start selling it to other people. I know you.
Of course.
Once you get through it,
how to own your own tiny house business.
Yes, exactly. You're going to be able to take that information. That's a good thing. Look at it that way. These things you're learning, these pit holes people see that you don't see, that you learn about, and then you could take that information and advise other people, sell it, whatever you normally do, and make you some more money. So that's another way to make money off of this, especially when you say that's a big market for people your age wanting to own tiny homes. A lot of people want to do tiny homes, but not that many are
renting them out.
I think it's something people are hearing about now, but that's not. They first want to get a tiny home.
Yeah, that's a cash-based business. You typically 99% of the time it's a cash-based business, so it's cheaper than a home, but it's cash.
What do you really want to know then?
Will we get our investment Airbnb property, land, house this year?
This year, okay.
And will it be successful? I know it's going to be successful. That's one of those things that I feel. If we get it, I know it's successful. I want to know, are we going to get it this year?
So the card that came out was July 11th. Uses the week or the month of these cards. What does it say? Can you read it? Tell me what it says.
July 11th, jealousy, retreat, Benedict. You know, I never knew what the word Benedict meant.
Like Benedict Arnold?
Yeah, but it means something. July 11th,
somebody who goes against you or something like that. That's why you have jealousy. But it says retreat. I would think that by the summer.
That looks like a cool cave house.
There's a cup right there too. There's a cup. Yeah, cave house, right? So your little tiny house. There's a retreat. The land.
Retreat, is the word retreat going with jealousy though? Because retreat with jealousy means pull back. Or it could be retreat as in an oasis away.
What's this right here?
It's a gold cup and a rock.
It's a cup. It's an offering. So maybe you'll be making an offer on your land by midsummer.
Ooh, what's Benedict mean? Let's look that up. Does Benedict actually mean something? Benedict.
It's a short invocation for divine help. Order of Saint Benedict. So it looks like by midsummer or somewhere is about you should be getting an offer on, you may be making an offer on land. That's the question you want.
So we should write that down.
Yeah.
Let's see if the cards are right. I'll write that in my journal. So, April 20th. Did you take out a card? Did you take out a deck that specifically had dates? Or was that just in your new deck?
It's a different deck.
Was it for dates?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, I was like, wow, that was weirdly specific.
Well, I use specific cards. I thought you'd be asking
July
about when, because you're just nosy.
Is an offering. What's nosy?
Mm.
On card. Words on card. Retreat. Benedict. And jealousy. Where's that jealousy come from though?
Somebody tried to poison him with poisoned bread. And then when he prayed a blessing over the bread, a raven swept in and took the loaf away. From this time, his miracles seem to become frequent and many people attracted to his sanctity and character.
So a miracle is
the religious object is what does Saint Benedict protect you from? The religious object is also a symbol a Christian symbol of opening doors and opening difficult paths. Tradition holds that it protects from curses, evil, and vices, protects against diseases, and protects good health. The reverse side of the medal comes from, I don't know what the word is, I can't pronounce that. So it's protection from challenges. So if you're looking at this, it's Saint Benedict is a performs miracles to protect you from challenges and difficulties. So you can be making an offer. It might be challenging in July, but by sometime in midsummer, you're going to be making an offer on something for your little retreat you want to build. You're not going to retreat backwards into your cabin. You're going to make an offer on, because this is the question you asked. These cards are called the Saint deck. And it's about all the saints and what they do for you. But these cards come with dates. And it's usually a week of or a month of.
Super cool. We'll see what happens.
Someone's going to be offering you something. You're going to make an offer. So, in other words, you need to pray about what you want. Continue to pray about what you want. Ask Saint Benedict to protect you on this endeavor and to protect you on these purchases you're making and make your business profitable. How about that?
Sounds good.
Let's speak it into life and you shall have it.
That's what I go by every day.
And you're making it happen. But sometimes we do take people's advice and we just throw it away because we don't want to hear it because we think it's
I don't
negativity.
throw people's advice away. It's just I already have those inner voices on the inside of me. So when I
hear, who did your inner voice tell you about the travel trailer?
It's gonna be, my inner voice says it's gonna be successful. I'm gonna be scared going into it.
Mm-hmm.
That I still have holes that need to be filled. Like it, I tell you, I have feelings. That's why I never have to look for signs. I feel it. I dream it. Last night in my dream, I made an offer on a plot of land. Like I remember, like $50,000 or something.
So now, did I know that?
No.
Okay, I had no idea. That was my inner, making an offer, so I know this. Go ahead.
There was like an inner spirit. Like I feel it. And I have plots where I still need to get the title. I still need to get the insurance, the big things. Yeah. Well, the biggest thing is to be built, but the legal reasons always go over that. So making sure that it's legally operated and
also they have discernment of who you allow rent, because just because somebody put money down doesn't mean that you know, maybe you should, I don't know if they do this to do credit checks or something, soft credit checks or something to know.
You can have reviews. You'll see.
Show me your insurance policy. Show me, certain things you might need to know. Fill out application where they work and stuff. So they, there's the
website does all of that for you. Yeah. So I have my commercial insurance. I don't even need commercial insurance. It's just for me to have it just in case. The website provides insurance. The people pay for that insurance, and they have to sign a contract with it as well, like a 5-page contract before they can take it out. It's a really well put together website that keeps people safe. Good. That's why I chose it.
Okay. So you did your research, but there's some other holes you got to fill in right now.
Yeah. And I already knew that. I felt it.
So why'd you call me for?
Because you like doing it.
Oh, that's why you.
And you want confirmation too. Like I trust my intuition, but when you have so many people's voices in your head, like Michael telling me, well, what are you going to do with this? I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do this for you. He always says,
why is he? So if this is you and you alone, then why is he saying what he is and what he is not going to do?
Because he knows that I'm going to need him.
So like what?
I want to use his truck to pool my tiny house, and he doesn't because that's his baby. And I'm like, well, then for every problem he gives me, I have a solution. He just doesn't want that solution. So I'm like, well, then I'll just rent off Toro. So I already had Toro down the line if someone didn't want to help me. I had already called a mover in Virginia if that didn't work out. And they were like, okay, well, you tell us how heavy it is and we'll do it for this much. So I had all my strings in a row. I get overwhelmed when people question what I'm doing I guess it's not derogatory, but more you don't know what you're doing type of way. And I'm just like, no, well,
you don't know what you're doing. You're learning. This is your first row at this. So that's fine. Yeah. But what I don't know, I can learn. And then I know you're going to turn into a prophet, whatever you learn.
Yeah.
Right.
So I don't like when people like, well, what are you gonna do here? What are you gonna do that? It was like, that's for me to worry about. I'm gonna fix it. I don't need you to already not tear me down, but have what are those type of questions that people ask you that are like kind of like their noses up in the air?
You don't want to put you down, you know, be condescending.
Don't give me condescending questions like I haven't already thought of this.
But
'Cause I'm
maybe it's
already-
not, maybe you shouldn't think of it as condescending. Maybe you should think, maybe definitely coming from Mike, that maybe that's, you know what, that's a good question. I'm gonna get the answer to that. And then get the answer to it.
Exactly.
I don't want to do that with renting my truck. I don't want you using my truck. Okay, fine. I'm gonna find another way I can do that.
And I did.
So why have you, I'm not, should be, okay, great. I'll find another way. That's a good thank you. Because I need to have, here's the other thing, you need to have several options for certain things, right? Because
I always
somebody
have a backup
might,
plan and a backup plan.
yeah.
I just
Like
don't.
somebody might come to you and says, okay, Jazmine, I don't want to use my SUV to pull it. I know it probably could. I'd rather rent one. Who do you advise? So maybe you need to start working with people who also could help you and with collaborating in business and, you know, kind of like referring each other back and forth.
That's called land sharing. That was another option that I had on the table in my mind. I've thought of so many options. So when people question me, it's like condescending, like I haven't already gone through the back and forth with myself. Because I internalize my monologue of me, one side of my brain saying, how are you going to do that? How are you going to do that? And, you know, beating me down. And the other side is saying, I could do this, I could do that. And I'm already listing it in my head. So when someone on the outside does it, I'm like, I don't need you to do that. I've already done that to myself.
But okay. So, but the only thing I see different with that, other people outside, some people just ask because, oh, I didn't know you could do that. Like you have an answer for it. So, well, I was going to do this. Like you said, what you saw, land share. Whereas with Michael, it's more, I'm your fiance. We live together. I think there's, even though I may not be your 100% 50-50 partner, I'm going to in some kind of way, because I know it's going to be part of this business. Whether you want it, you say it yes or not. Some going to break down. Some you're gonna be asking me. So he feels so he knows that y'all been together long enough, he's gonna know that you're gonna come to him for something. So he just feels like for him to be comfortable with this big endeavor, I need to know that these things are being taken care of or you thought it through. And as he thinks of it, you should just answer him. And if you don't have an answer, you know what? That's a good question. I'll get back to you on that. Because you're going to need him. So don't cut him out, because you know you're going to need him. Because the first thing you would do, if it was me, I'd be like, I asked you something. You're like, well, it's not your business. It's my business. I'm like, and as soon as you need something, it's like, oh, it was your business, remember? And I know you could probably go fix it, but I'm just saying, you don't want that type of, this is mine. You know, it should be yours. Both of yours. Yes, you're running it. Yes, you're the owner. Yes, this and that. But he's still your partner.
Yeah.
So even if you say, I got to give him 5% of the business, let him have 5% of the questions and assurance of it.
Yeah. And it's not me saying like, it's mine, don't worry about it. It's more, it's me, it's my inner monologue saying, I am assuming the risk. I just want you to benefit from it. So I want to take on the hard part. So I'm stressed out about it. So you don't need to be stressed out. So if I need you to like fix a wheel, that's your only problem ever, while I'm fighting the other 100 problems. I want to take on the risk and the stress. So when someone stresses, when I see that they're stressed out, I'm like, why are you stressed out? I'm already doing this for us.
But you got to understand. Yes, but you need, okay. And you need to understand that that's coming from your own point of view and not taking his in consideration. Like maybe he doesn't want to just be the benefactor of it. Maybe he wants to put a little bit of work in, thought and planning into it too. And that makes him feel better than just say, hold up, I got this. And him not feeling you got it. You may have it, but it's still got angst. But if he knows things are being taken care of up front and planned out properly, that might be the benefit for him, that I know she got 89% of this covered. She's not going to need me but for maybe 10%, opposed to she got 40% of this covered, and I know she's going to need me 60% of the time. I don't want to get 60% of the time of this. So you got to see it from his point of view. He needs that comfort up front. And he'll know in his mind how much he has help he's willing to give you that he's comfortable with when things come up.
You're right.
Because guess what? I asked you about this and this and this, and you didn't take care of it. Now you need me. So you know what I'm saying? That's what I think he's saying. Let me be comfortable in the beginning. And I know, yes, she's still going to need me, but not as much, because I know that girl's handling it. But right now, you saying you handle it is not the same as him seeing you write it down, and you got it handled, and you got this plan and this thought process, and you're communicating, and he's asking, and you're just giving him answers back. And he'd be like, "Whoa, you got this. What about this? Well, I got this right here. What about that? Oh, I got this right here." You know what I'm saying? Then he's like, "She got it. Let him say you got it. You keep saying you got it. Let him say you got it. He needs to feel you got it." He doesn't feel that right now. He's like, it's bigger than she thinks it is what he's thinking. But when you show him that, yeah, I got the answers to this. I got A, B, C, D choice. I can do this, that, and that. So that's what he needs to feel. And that's what you have to let him feel. Don't take it just from your point of view.
You're right.
And it comes off as argumentative too.
And pretentious.
Yeah. So that's that balance. There goes back to that
redemption.
No. It was the balance card, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you
gotta, what's it called?
Temperance. You have to go back to being tempered with him. Yeah, here it is. Temperance. Because he doesn't feel like he's comfortable right now. He will get comfortable as time goes by, things start to work out. Right now he's not. And so you don't come off as no, I know everything, because you don't. And he knows you. That's the thing about it. He knows you don't. But you're trying to come off as though you do. And you got it. And he knows, no, you don't, Jazmine.
This is true. Yeah.
So that's the thing. You need to feel him in. Let him be a part of it. Let him get to the point where he knows, okay, she only going to need me 10% of the time. I know he's never going to think he knows, for God's sake, that you're never going to need him. But he don't want to be needed on stuff he told you to do, or at least think about or make a plan for. Because then he's going to throw in your face, I told you this. So that's the way I see it. So can it work? Yeah. Because the more you write, the more you plan, the more you build that plan and put things in action, talk to more people, and, fill in those potholes, the easier it's going to be for you.
As long as it's lucrative.
As long as it's lucrative. That's the business plan part you got to work out, your budget. So
you said it was going to work for that second car. We're going through removing, so that's what I needed to know.
Yeah, I think it can work. It says it's going to work. It says you're ready to move forward. You're flying. Just don't drag nobody behind you. Let them come along with you willingly. So when things go wrong, they willingly come help you.
Yeah.
Right? So that's a lot of times, a lot of problems is that we don't have the support. We don't feel like we have our support systems. And it's easy to give up.
Yeah, I think.
Or you work yourself to death trying to make it work just to prove everybody else wrong.
Me.
Yeah. So if you have a set point, 5-6 months is all I want to do. And then I'm going to get off of that, and I'm going to do something different, making more money a different way, and have it stationary, then you should be fine. Just stick with it for 6 months.
Backup plan. Well, when we get that house, you said July, so I'm gonna look.
I said you're gonna make the offer in July.
I definitely think by July. I was definitely hoping by July we would be having an offer, because there was 2 things I needed done. One probably is going to happen in May. Save up more, do the other thing in June. Save up a little bit more, and maybe by July I'll have enough for the down payment again to make an offer.
See how I can read your mind?
He needs to keep his word. There's a lot of moving parts in this about
always word. There always is, especially when you're dealing with partners, and even when you're dealing with banks and builders and stuff. Things change, right? Things happen. So people get behind for different reasons. People, whatever. But yeah, I think it'll work. I think it'll be fine. It's what you want. Yay. First step. So when are we going to see your tiny home?
Huh?
When are we going to see your tiny home?
Well, you can see bits and pieces of it on my Instagram.
I saw that, but I mean, I want to go in and stand to see it.
Yeah, me too.
So they're going to deliver it to your house?
Oh, we're going to pick it up from Tennessee.
And bring it to your house?
And bring it to the campground that we're going to have it stored.
You're going to camp in it first?
Yeah, so we're going to
make sure it works.
We're going to take like a few day vacation in it at a campground, see how it works, get some pictures done, and then come back here.
So I guess my advice to you is to not take every question someone asks you about your plan as a negative, and then use that to, fill these gaps. If you have an answer, it might be good questions that someone's asking you. Don't take it as something negative all the time. It's, whoa, maybe I need to look into that and I'll get back to you. And the other thing is, yes, go forward with your plans. Make sure it's written. Make sure you have your business plan and your budget written down, and share it with your partner, whether he's included in the business or not, especially if you know you're going to ping on him for help on certain things. Then he has every right to feel that it's going to be something that you can handle. He's only caring about you, and he wants to make sure that it works for you, and that he's not overtaxed and he's pulled into something he didn't agree to, or he didn't think you were prepared for. But I think you're going to be fine.
Yeah.
I just hope to be able to see your tiny home soon. And you can come
and if
to
you guys
mine.
want to see snippets of what the tiny home looks like before I reveal it on my channel, you can go to my Instagram, Let's Jazz It Up too, like my username up here. You can see what the kitchen looks like, the bedrooms look like, the bathroom looks like. It's very small snippets of what I'm getting from the builder.
Yeah. And if you want to order your planner,
if you want to order my planner, you can go on my website for LetsJazzItUp2.com, or follow me on YouTube. I have all my links on my YouTube channel, Let's Jazz It Up 2.
All right. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'll talk to you later. Love you.
Bye.
Bye, girl.